Do you have to eat at the same level of hyper-nourishment your whole life once you're healthy or you get your disease back? No. All right. You can maintain your health by sticking with a plant-based diet that's high in the raw foods, right? Never give up hyper-nourishment because that is what healed you. So keep that blender a day and live your life and enjoy being super healthy. All right. Once we're healed, if we don't keep eating high raw, can we get our disease back? I know it means better health in general, but I just want to know if I have to be cautious for the rest of my life. So there's multiple ways my brain wants to answer this. The first answer I have in my head is just, it's more of a question back at you, is if something can reverse your disease and give you your health back, why would you ever stop doing that? Just floating that back at you. Like, why ask me that question, right? The most important question is, can this work to reverse your disease? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Absolutely. If it works, why would you even think about stopping doing whatever it is that worked for you? So I'm just going to float that back at you and let that simmer for you, okay? The actual answer is I do recommend people stay high raw because you already know what your body does when it gets malnourished. What does your body do when it gets malnourished? All of you guys have a different answer, right? Mine does lupus, kidney failure, blood clots, all sorts of stuff that I never want to deal with again. It's 16 years counting, right? So I'm not going to ever give up the things that work for me. Why would I, right? Now, I also feel amazing. So I love eating high raw because my energy levels are fantastic, all right? I've had people convert to my diet who were speakers because they were at an event where they saw me speaking on day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. with the same energy level at 9 p.m. that I had at 9 a.m. And they're like, how do you do that? Because I'm exhausted halfway through the day. And I'm like, oh, my food. And they started bringing suitcases full of veggies and their blender to get on what we were doing, okay? Because my husband and I are so high energy. So I will never stop eating that way because it works well. I'm super healthy and I feel great. Now, do you have to eat at the same level of hyper-nourishment your whole life once you're healthy or you get your disease back? No. All right. You can maintain your health by sticking with a plant-based diet that's high in the raw foods, right? Never give up hyper-nourishment because that is what healed you. So that's your insurance plan, right? That's your insurance policy. That's your antidote. Okay. So keep that blender a day and live your life and enjoy being super healthy. All right. But do I have to have those smoothies every day to stay healthy? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. I have gone to events where I'm teaching for a few days and they're like, we've got all your food covered for you. And it's just all cooked plant food. Okay. My health stays the same. My energy, not so much. I mean, I'm high on adrenaline because I'm teaching and I love people. So I get all juiced up on people, but it's like, I feel like what most people feel like if they forget their coffee. I'm like, is this normal energy? It's just not the same. Whereas I went to another event where I was going from Pittsburgh to Hawaii. So, I mean, it was like, you know, just no sleep, totally wrong time zones. And it was actually Hawaii to Pittsburgh. And when I got to Pittsburgh, they had a raw chef at the event. So I did only raw foods. I had so much energy, I couldn't even tell that I had missed all that sleep. So I prefer high raw. In general, that is the best way to keep your body going, is to eat a plant-based diet and keep your blender a day and avoid the things that make you sick. But at this point in my life, I could eat inflammatory foods again. In fact, I do sometimes. I am still 100% vegan. I will never eat meat, dairy, eggs, any of that stuff ever again. It's actually nauseating to even think about for me. And I know already that my dairy dependence was one of the biggest factors keeping me sick. So I'll never do that again. But I do once or twice a week eat something that's delivered. You know, like last night we got pho. It was tofu soup. All right. It had rice noodles, which are inflammatory. All right. And it probably had a little oil, although that place doesn't have much because I can feel it when I have oil in my system. But, you know, that was from a restaurant. So it was cooked and it had some inflammatory components, but I don't get lupus symptoms. It would take me years of really trying hard. I'd have to do the supersize me diet, you know, where the guy lived off McDonald's, to try to get my disease back at this point, because I've been bathing myself in nutrition for 16 years. I'm super healthy. I can withstand it. So what I tell people when they first do my program is, listen, first goal, no symptoms. All right. After no symptoms, keep going for a couple weeks to lock it in. Don't go first day with no symptoms. Let me stop my smoothie. No. Okay. Then after it's locked in, at that point, this is a habit. You're used to having your smoothies and salads. Keep the habit and then add other cooked plant foods as desired. Add some beans to your salad. Add some quinoa. Add some cooked vegetables if you want. Bake a potato. Okay. Totally fine. Just keep all those other foods. And once you're in that habit, you're actually going to prefer it and want it.